Namaskaram. Welcome to my channel. My name is Nagendra. Welcome to day 2 of Yin Yoga practice. So today we are targeting the lower body, mainly the hips and the hamstrings. Any level of practitioner can try this, and we are using a yoga blocks for today's class. Let's start. We'll start today's practice coming into a white child's posture, keeping your knees wider, somewhere around mat distance, joining the toes together, heels apart. You can use a block below the hips to sit and extend your arms in front to rest your forehead on the ground. Breathe. If you feel you're comfortable without the block, you can just remove and sit with hips over the heels, whichever finds easier for you. Breathe. Let your trunk sink in between your inner thighs towards the ground, resting the forehead. Try not to tighten your body part, just keep it completely relaxed. Breathe. If you are not having any props or yoga blocks, feel free to do the practice or try the practice without the blocks. Just stay here. Feel all of that energy shift that is happening into your hip joints. Breathe. I feel I'll be more comfortable without the blocks, so I'm just removing it and sinking the hips over the heels. Make adjustments, make yourself comfortable. So in every pose you might stay from 3 to 5 minutes. And using or allowing that body to take its natural way of sinking into every pose, not straining or stressing too much or trying to achieve a pose, just being there. Yin yoga is all about finding that edge and staying still. You can only be still when you're comfortable or stable in a pose. That's what we need, that supported practice. That's what we need. Props. Your body is stable, your mind is stable, you can focus better, concentrate better, and can move more internal. Moving towards that higher self which is within. Crossing the layers of mind, intellect and ego, those deeper layers, and moving or transcending towards that higher being. Keep the breath. In Yin yoga you find edges. So for every individual those edges would be different depending upon the level of flexibility. Once you find your edge which is comfortable and stable, from there your body sinks in more inside. And as you stay longer, you find another edge, which is obviously a deeper version of the pose. Keep the breath. And as you sink down into those deeper edges, you can feel your joints, you can acknowledge the posture better. And obviously you can reflect better on your mind, intellect and ego. Breathe. Slowly from here, lifting your hips off the heels, staying on your forearms. Now from here, you can widen your legs, coming into that frog posture, flexing the toes outward, resting your inner edges on the ground, widen your knees, and make sure you're not transferring the weight too much on your arms. Try and keep your weight more towards the hip region and stay here into this frog posture. Just stay here. Breathe. Tucking the tailbone will really help you find that energy shift or help you get better into the pose. Just breathe. Stay here. Once again, feeling that energy moving into those hip joints. And staying still, observing the breath, observing the thoughts. And letting them pass by and just acknowledging your thoughts. Make adjustments accordingly, make yourself comfortable. A slight round on your spine is acceptable over here, with the inner edges of the feet resting on the ground and your toes flexing outward. Breathe. And just stay still, because with the stillness in the body, stillness in the mind comes. Feel all of that energy shift that is happening into your hip joints. And just breathe. Feeling oxygen consciously to those body parts which are being stretched. Observe your breath, observe your thoughts, and let them pass by without being attached towards your thoughts or being carried away. And just stay still, still like a rock, like a stone. A still mind is a focused mind, more concentrated mind. When you are more focused and concentrated, you stay in that present moment. You're not anxious of your future, and you neither dwell in that past, just being there in that very moment. Yoga practice is just about being in that present moment, being still, and doing that swadhyay, reflecting upon that mind, ego, intellect. Breathe. And body is your tool. You cleanse it through the process of yoga. It's just like a vessel. When your vessel is clean, you can see through better, reflect better upon mind, body, intellect, and it can help you move internal, the real nature of yours. You're about this body, mind. You're the part of that supreme being, supreme consciousness, that higher consciousness. You can call him Purusha. You can call him higher being, supreme being. You can call him soul. It really helps you move internal towards that higher being. Take a long deep breath, inhale and exhale. Slowly from here, moving your toes together, knees inside. Place your palms on the ground, lift your forearms to the floor, tuck your toes in, lift your knees up.
hips up, to press your heels into the ground into that downward facing. Stay into your version of downward dog. Breathe. Keeping your feet hip distance, fingers widespread. Keep the breath. You can feel those stretches on the back of the legs, on those hamstrings and calves. Once again, do not force or do not try to strain or stretch yourself too much. Yin yoga practice is really great practice to acknowledge the posture, a great way of dealing with that mind, a great way of dealing with those thoughts. And settling them down, just allowing that gravity to work upon that body and to work upon, allowing that gravity to work upon that body and just work upon those thoughts. Breathe. And see how the body sinks in with every breath. It's take those edges, find and explore those edges as you stay longer into the practice, into the pose. Just breathe. Take a long deep breath in and exhale. Moving your right knee forward, close to your right wrist. Keeping your back toe tucked in initially, slowly untuck your toe. If you're not able to settle down your hips towards the ground, feel free to use a block underneath the right hip. Keeping your back straight. Take a long deep breath, inhale and exhale. Now from here, walk your hands in forward. To rest your forearms on the ground, to rest your forehead onto the feet or on the forearms. I feel like I'm okay without the block. If you're not having any block, just use a cushion or a blanket or a pillow below the hip so that I have that support. You can extend your arms in front. You might be here. This is good for me. And if you can go a little more deeper with your forearms resting and forehead on the wrist, or you can go completely flat to rest your forehead on the floor. So you have so many options. Find that first edge for yourself. We're not focusing on alignments or too much on the posture. We're trying to find that edge into a pose which is better, easy, comfortable, so they can reflect more upon that mind. And the reason for being stable into a pose is reason for being stable and comfortable, so that can reflect upon thoughts, observe, become more aware of who we are really. Just forget about the body, it will find the edges automatically as you stay longer. You can acknowledge the postures better when you're still stable and comfortable, and at the same time reflect upon your thoughts, observe them better. And to really become a good observer and become more aware, you need to be really still like a rock, like a stone, because with the stillness in the body, stillness in the mind comes. A still mind is a more focused mind, more concentrated mind, neither dwells in past nor being anxious of future, just being there.
into that moment, observing within, moving internal. A focused mind is a concentrated mind. You neither dwell in past nor being anxious of future. You just stay there, being in that moment. Yoga is just about being in that present moment, being still. So they can concentrate better, focus better, and can transcend from mind, ego, and intellect to that higher being, moving more internal. Those layers of your mind, crossing them, passing by. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. Slowly form a lifting the head and chest up. Taking the hand support. Tuck your back toes. Slowly shift your right leg backward, coming to a downward dog position once again. Same way as it is onto the other side. Shift your left knee forward, close to your wrist. Your left heel is somewhere close to the right side of the pelvic. Drag your right leg backward. As I told you, feel free to use a block below. If you're not having a block, take a block below the hip. Take that support. Walk your hands forward. You could stay here with your forearms on the ground like this. This is also good for me. Or you can go with holding the forearms with the opposite hand. Rest the forehead down. Or completely sinking down. I'm not using the block. Head down. Find that options for yourself. And find that edge. Once again, where you feel comfortable and stable. And let that gravity takes the command. Just surrender to Mother Earth. And let the body breathe. Let the mind breathe. Long deep inhale and exhale. You need to find that state of pose where you're stable, comfortable, so that you can stay longer into a pose. Unless and until you have that stability, you won't be able to still practicing stillness, because stillness in the body gives stillness in the mind. A more focused and a concentrated mind, a more aware mind, being there in that very moment. Yoga is just about being in that present moment. When you're in that present moment, you enjoy your posture, your body. It reflects everywhere. And you move. When you're aware, you're in that moment. You can go more internal, crossing over the layers of mind, intellect, ego, transcend into that higher being. There's a continuous flow that happens. It's like you're meditating all the time. Meditation is just about having that prolonged concentration, or there's a continuous flow. Yin yoga is just about that meditative approach of the practice. Breathing in and breathe out. Moving internal with every breath. Being still, being an observer. That still mind can concentrate better. And from there, you choose an object of focus. It could be internal, it could be that higher being, it could be any god, deity you believe in, and that object, your awareness remains there on that object. You concentrate on that. And that prolonged concentration leads to meditation. And when there's a continuous flow of energy into that object, you are in a state of meditation. And that submerge of you into that object, being one, is samadhi. Being with the object, being with the one, being with the higher being, higher consciousness, Purusha. Prakriti meets Purusha, and you both are the same, which gives unlimited bliss, joy. Inhale, exhale. Slowly from here, take a long deep breath, inhale and exhale. Lift your head and chest up, taking hand support. Shift your left leg backward, come to downward facing dog. Now step your right foot forward once again, drop your left knee down. Lift your hands off the ground, keep your hands on the knees. You can keep your back toes tucked in, back straight, and just push your pelvic down. Stay here. Breathe with your back straight. Do not lean your chest forward. Just back straight. Finding harder to keep that back toe tucked in, you can untuck the toe and let the body sink. Breathe. Breathe into that pelvic region, into those hip joints. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Just breathe. You can feel those nice touches on your psoas and iliacus. Make yourself comfortable, stable. Breathe. Finding harder, take blocks, raise it vertically up. Take the hands over your palms. Take the weight over your hands so that you can ease that stretch. If you loosen the hands, the weight goes. If you keep your hands over your knees, the weight is more on the pelvic. And if you keep your hands on the blocks, this will give you ease into your practice, makes you more comfortable and stable. And let it gravity takes in charge. Surrender to the gravity and let the body take its position slowly and gently. Breathe and gently close your eyes and try to be still. Once again, still like a rock, like a stone. And observe the breath. Observe your thoughts. Acknowledge your thoughts. Let them pass by. Don't get attached towards them or don't get carried away. Just see as a separate entity, because you're the subject, you're the supreme. Everything around you is temporary, objective. Don't get attached. Let them pass by. And just observe. Learn to observe. Practice. You need to practice observing. And you can practice observing only your body. You can practice observing when your body is still. And for your body to be still, you need to find that state of pose which is comfortable and stable. And then you can observe better. Otherwise, you'll keep on struggling to remain in that pose. from slowly from here, bring your blocks on the ground, shoulder distance. You can keep your blocks like this, resting your forearms over the block. Adjust it accordingly, finding harder with this one also. You can give this height like this, second option. Or if you want to go with a third option is also there, you can just elevate the height like this, rest your forearms. Just choose the option whichever are comfortable for you, and just stay, keeping your back toes untucked or tucked, and just breathe. Obviously, when you keep your back toes tucked in, you can adjust that pressure or the weight over the pelvic. Breathe. Once again, staying still. I think I'll just directly move deeper from here. You can stay into your options. You can stay into that edge where you're comfortable and stable. I'm going down with the forearms of the floor, untucking the toe, and just stay here, still, and just breathe. Long deep breath, inhale and exhale. Long deep breath, inhale and exhale. Feeding oxygen to those body parts which have been stretched. And you can feel that energy shift that is happening into your hip joints. And just try to be still. Obviously, it's really hard to be still in this posture, but try to be as still as possible, because with the stillness in the body, stillness in the mind comes. Stay still like a rock, like a stone, observing your breath, thoughts, and let them pass by without being attached or being carried away. Just stay still once again and observe your breath, your thoughts. You can practice to that level where you're always conscious of your breath, being aware of that breath. Or you can choose an object of focus. It could be a god, deity, and being aware of that object of focus all the time. Practicing concentration. Slowly from here, elevating the height. Shifting your right leg backward, coming to that downward dog position. Step in your left leg and drop your knee down. Once again, taking the blocks on either side with the back toes tucked in or untucked. Choose the option which is comfortable, or you can just keep your hands up on your knees like this, whichever finds easier for you. If you're not having the block, just keep your hands over your knees with your back toes tucked in. If you're having the blocks, take your hands over the blocks. I'm choosing to do this pose with the blocks, back straight, and let the weight of your trunk goes over the pelvic region. You can manipulate the pressure which is coming onto your hip joints with the hand support, back straight. Inhale and exhale. Relax shoulders, look in front. Eyes closed, and let the body take in charge with that gravity. Let the gravity takes in the charge. And just breathe. Make adjustments to make yourself stable and comfortable, and try to be as still as possible, because with the stillness in the body, stillness in the mind comes. A still mind is a focused mind, more concentrated mind. And just observe your breath, observe your thoughts, without being attached towards your thoughts or being carried away. Let them pass by. Breathe. Stay still. Reflect upon those thoughts. Just acknowledge and try to move internal
transcending forward, passing through mind, ego, intellect, and move towards that higher being, that supreme being. Breathe. Keep the breath. Keep the breath. Now slowly from here, taking the blocks. You can choose the option whichever feel comfortable for you. With the blocks like this or completely flat. On the right, I've given you options earlier. Same way on the left side. Or can give a more height if you feel you're really stiff. Stay. Or you can go completely down towards the ground, resting your forearms on the floor. And feel those stretches that is happening into your hip joints. Feel that energy shift that is happening into your hip joints. First we start with the physical body, that cross body. Then slowly move into those deeper layer of mind, intellect, ego. We need to practice and see or do. You need to practice swadhyaya and see where's ego coming in. You should be aware of that. That I think should not be there. You are above this body, mind, intellect. You're the part of that supreme consciousness, that higher consciousness. You can do anything and everything that takes you, make you a good person, takes you more internal, or move you towards that higher being, that supreme being. Make adjustments to find that deeper level of poses and reflect more on your inner being, that higher being, that soul. Just breathe. Just breathe. Just breathe. Keep the breath. Keep the breath. And slowly from here, elevating the height. Take your left leg backward, coming into that downward facing. Breathing in and out. Breathe out. Now from here, step in your right leg forward, drop your left knee down. You can stay here with your palm down. Take your right hand behind your back, rest it over the waist, open your chest or torso towards the right side, or kick the heel into the bum, grab the outer edge of the feet. So you can choose any option which you feel comfortable for you. Breathe and try to push your pelvic slowly into the ground. Stay here like this, finding that edge, or you can go more deeper, resting your forearm over the block, with your right arm resting over the waist, or kick your heel to grab the back foot. So whichever finds easier for you. And try and move your right foot more closer to the broader side of the mat. Like this, I'm choosing this option. Stay here. Breathe. Finding harder. Just rest your arm over the waist to look backward. There are so many options to choose from, and stay. Breathe. Stay. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Keep the breath.
Keep breathing, keep exhaling. Once again, finding that state of stillness. You really need to choose a good posture or options or the edge where you feel comfortable and stable. Then only you can really enjoy that stillness practice. Stillness. Just breathe. Feeding oxygen to those body parts which are being stressed. Stay still, still like a rock, like a stone. Still mind has a still mind is a focused mind, more concentrated mind. Reflecting upon those mind, body, intellect with this practice. Transcending or moving internal and moving internal towards that higher being, towards that higher consciousness, that supreme consciousness. Just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Keep up the breath. Now slowly form, taking the hands down. Shifting your right leg backward. Coming to the downward facing. Same way as it is on the other side. Step your left foot forward. Drop your right knee down. I have given you so many options earlier as well. Same way. Either hand on the waist like this, looking backward. Try to push your pelvic into the ground. And moving that foot towards the outer edge of the mat. First one. Or grab the outer edge of the back foot to stay here like this. Do not strain your neck over here. Breathe. Or just take a block support. Rest it below the forearm with your hand over the waist or kicking the heel into the bum to grab the outer edge. Stay. Stay. Breathe. Inhale and exhale. Once again, feeling those stretches or that energy so that is happening into your hip joints. Just breathe. Make yourself comfortable, stable, and just stay still and enjoy that sense of calmness and enjoy that energy shift that is happening into your hip joints. And just breathe, feeding oxygen to those body parts which are being stressed, and stay there. Keep up the breath and stay still. In some poses you might be struggling too much or finding really hard. You can just slightly move a little bit if you feel really hard to stay longer with that stillness. The intent over here is to be still so that you can reflect upon that mind, intellect and ego and observe every bit of thought that has been coming and passing by. Let them pass, don't get attached. Just breathe. Inhale and exhale. Inhale and exhale. Keep the breath. Make adjustments. Finding harder to stay. Breathe. Slowly from here. Bringing your hands down, shifting your left leg backward. Come to a downward facing dog. Breathe out. Drop your knees down over here. Walk your hands in front, come to a heart melting posture. Chest chin resting on the ground, finding harder to do with the chest chin on the ground. Just rest your forehead. Arms extended in front, whichever finds easier for you. Breathe. Keep your back toes tucked in for support, or completely sink your chest chin down with that heart melting. Eyes closed. Once again, find that state of stillness. Because with the stillness in the body, stillness in the mind comes. And just being there, a still mind is a more focused and a concentrated mind. You can move internal, dive down deeper, crossing or passing through the layers of mind, body, intellect, towards the real being of yours, that higher being. You are none other than that higher being, uplifted by the ignorance of this body, mind, ego. In the soul, you can do anything and everything. You're not just body, you're above body, mind, ego. You're the part of that higher being, supreme being. You can do anything and everything. Yoga gives you that will to do anything and everything that you need or aspire in your life. With good intention, you can set goal for yourself, for your life. You might meet or see different individuals in your life. Individual differs from other just depending upon the degree of concentration they have. Better focused mind, a concentrated mind can do miracles to the humanity, to the society, to the world. Keep the breath and try to move internal towards that higher being, to that Purusha, and surrender everything that you do to that Purusha, that higher being, that God, deity you believe in. And everything will fall at your feet. Slowly from here, coming back center, lifting the head and chest up. Walk your hands down backward and come up and sit on it, please.
I hope you enjoyed the practice. Please like, share and subscribe so it can reach more number of people out there and can help the needful. You can check out my other two playlists, the morning yoga stretches, which are really short and quick practice to start your day. And the other one is the vinyasa yoga, which is more of intermediate to advanced level of practice, kind of power yoga class. So in the next class, till then, keep practicing. Thank you.